right, California. Now, as you guys know, I'm from here, so there's a few things that I just had to throw in. But again, this is a shortened, condensed lecture with just a few high points. The majority of the material that we're covering is linked below. Okay, so I'll keep this as short as I can. All right, so here it is. Right, now, we've got the state. I also think it's very interesting that they can put Carson City and Reno and then Vegas into California. Obviously, those are part of Nevada, but I think it has kind of the link to entertainment and the higher population in those areas. Overall, Nevada has a pretty low population, but the majority of the people are here around Vegas. And then Carson City is, of course, the capital, and Reno is also famous for its gambling. So I think it's that combination of entertainment and population. But mostly we're going to talk about California. We have a huge amount of diversity. It's one of the most diverse states in the union. It has cities like Long Beach, which is down here, which is one of the most diverse cities in the entire world. There's a huge amount of different environments here. Right? We have very cool and rainy and wet with redwoods, right, along especially the northern coast. There's an interior that is one of the most agriculturally significant and productive places in the entire world, the Central Valley, which is right in here. And then we have desert, and we have one of the driest, hottest places in the country here in Death Valley. And of course, we have beaches and we have mountains. There's a huge amount of diversity. And of course, there's that image of California, right? People have written songs about this, California Dreamin', right? All of that image that is wrapped up in California as a beautiful place, as a land of dreams, as a nirvana kind of thing, right? And there's a lot of really incredible things about California. It has, as I just said, a massive range of environments. You can go from skiing to surfing in just a couple hours. I mean, it really is an amazing, amazing place with huge amount of just liveliness and diversity. The beaches really are beautiful. Nice soft sand in the south. The further north you go, you get a lot of rocks, a lot of cliffs, but in Southern California, you've got absolutely gorgeous beaches. And of course, there's Hollywood. And then these are the beautiful redwoods that are more towards the north. And you will learn more about the redwoods in one of the video clips that I gave you. But while there are all of these fabulous things and the dream factory and the image that people have of California, there's also the flip side, right? That we've got earthquakes and really big earthquakes. There's so many people want to live here that there's gridlock and traffic. We've got hills and mountains that their entire life cycle is linked to burning. And so that makes it a very dangerous place for wildfires. And there are so many people that want to live here that rent and housing is a serious, serious issue. So the things that make this a place that people want to live, right? The weather, the fact that you can wear flip-flops and swim all year round, that you don't have to shovel snow in most of the area, right? All of those things, the connectivity, the diversity, the opportunity, all of those things definitely have a downside as well. So some of those advantages and the challenges. First, the advantages of Southern California. Well, not just Southern California, all of California. The natural resources that are here. There's gold, right? There's the huge agricultural center in the Central Valley. There's the redwoods. There's just all of the natural beauty and different environments. The climate is obviously very popular and positive. In Southern California, which is off the map, but we have a Mediterranean climate, which is one of the best climates that people love to live in. Interestingly, the period of time after World War II and into the 60s, when California became the place to live and so many thousands and thousands of people moved there, that was actually a period of very mild weather. There wasn't a lot of El Nino or La Nina coming through, and the winters were very mild, but there was enough rain that there wasn't flooding and there wasn't a drought. And so there was a lot of green. And that's when television was really coming in, right? And people were seeing like the Rose Parade on New Year's Day being broadcast around across the country. And people that were in places where they were buried in snow, right, and freezing, were seeing Pasadena in Southern California and like, okay, we got to move there, right? But that period of time was actually an anomaly. And so that huge draw that people had, that was we've had more extremes since then. Um, there's also an excellent harbor in San Francisco. And then Long Beach and LA, that combination of a port is the most important port on the West Coast. So, in terms of infrastructure, we have some vital infrastructure here for trade and for the economic reality of our country. These are the networks that flow out of especially Southern California, but also Northern California. This right in here, that is the Port of Los Angeles and the Port of Long Beach. And look at the arteries that cross the country, right? We've got Highway 10. We've got, this is 60, and then it moves into 20. This is 15, Interstate 15, and then across on 80. So the amount of flow out of Southern California in terms of goods and products, food, manufactured goods, all sorts of things come into the port, are transported either then by train or moved to trucks and then moved throughout the country is really mind-blowing. And if someone really wants to shut this country down, going into Southern California and blowing up a number of the interchanges that are right along these highways. Highway 10, the 405, this is the 5 straight up, the 5 there, the 60, 15. You would need to blow up just a few interchanges and you could paralyze the economy of this country, which is a pretty scary thought, right? But that is the importance of California, Southern California, the entire state. When you look at the economy of California and you compare it to other places, it's something like the 9th largest economy in the world. So, this is a significant place in terms of manufacturing, in terms of services, in terms of financial. It's huge. Okay. Some of the disadvantages in California, besides the fact that we have a lot of earthquakes, there's a number of very large faults. The western peripheral location, it's far from the national core. And so that is a bit of a transportation and connectivity issue, though of course less so now that we are in an age of the internet. We also have topographical barriers to the east. The Sierra Nevadas are this huge mountain range that is right here, and then you've got desert just on the other side of it, and there's desert here in Southern California. So we've got those barriers that make it harder to come in from the east. There's also the cost of living. Right? And in Southern California and the area around San Francisco especially are some of the most expensive places to live in the country. And I'm going to pause there and we will come back and talk about those issues of the cost of living.